Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to one of the more passionate videos you're going to see in a while. Over the past few days, there's been so much breaking left and right in the crypto space in regards to news, and now I have an opportunity to review it with all of you. I have to say that unfortunately, my computer broke on me a couple days ago, so I haven't been as caught up on my videos recently. But now after today, we're back on our normal schedule. Now, what we need to see is that Charles Hoskinson is beginning to wake up to the true level of the corruption of the SEC. We've been telling all of you here on this channel that the SEC has been behind ETHgate, has been with conflicts of interest, Jay Clayton, Bill Hinman, and Gary. They're trying to nail CZ Binance. But in reality, they should have gone after Sam Bankman-Fried, the dude that Gary Gensler was colluding to. And if Tom Emmer is being honest, we're going to get a subpoena to see what those meetings were about. As you all remember, a couple months ago, I had Charles Hoskinson on my channel to discuss ETHgate. And in that interview I had with him, we discussed one thing that was very important. He's sympathetic to the XRP community now, but he still, at the time, didn't truly register how big ETHgate does. Charles Hoskinson, in this video, I think is beginning to understand the difference between how ETH and Bitcoin have gotten treated and how XRP and others have been getting treated, including ADA. We here have to get into a couple things. But first, I have to reiterate to all of you that Ripple being 3-0 against the SEC was the biggest thing that could have possibly happened for the crypto industry. We have quite literally saved the space, and I can't stress this to every single one of you, that we are the best community on the planet, but we're so underappreciated.
Then they come in and say it's a security. Okay, well, what the hell does that mean if it's decentralized? How does Bitcoin register? Oh, but it's not. Then explain to me the fucking difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardano and the rest of the gang. Explain it to me. Like I'm 5 years old. Run the goddamn Howey test on it and show me the difference between the two. Tell me. Is there an expectation of return with the goddamn orange pill moon boys? It's there. There's so many different planks and angles that you can take a look at this thing from. And by the way, if you subpoena and attack about 3 different entities, you could perform a 51% attack on Bitcoin because that's the way the hash power works. But it's decentralized, apparently. And Team Orange gets a complete pass. It's a pathetic fucking joke. It's an absolutely pathetic joke. You know, and it would be funny if not for the fact that hundreds of millions of dollars of legal fees have been exhausted in this Pyrrhic war that's being fought on the industry. And they'll lose court case after court case, as they already have, and will continue. And then at some point, it'll stop. There will not be an apology. There's not going to be any money that comes back, and we'll just move on. Like we did with the Kennedy assassination. We'll just move on. Like we did with Vietnam. We'll just move on. Like we did with Iraq and Afghanistan. We'll just move on, like we're doing right now with COVID. We'll just move on, like we did with all the things that have happened the last 50, 60, 70 years in the United States history. It has to stop. It honestly has to stop. Why do I praise libertarians come in? Because the only people that seem to think the only people seem to improve the situation, the people that are unraveling the government. It's not accountable anymore. People harm people, they get away with it, and they just move on, and nothing changes. I'm tired of it. I think our industry's tired of it. The entire reason cryptocurrencies exist is not because somebody woke up and said, man, tokens on the internet is such a good idea. The entire reason cryptocurrencies exist is that we're trying collectively to reestablish the social contract, because the social contract is horrifically broken. If the people in charge are unelected, unaccountable, and don't ever have to prove to us, the beneficiaries of the public trust, that they're doing good for us. And when they screw up, nothing happens to them. They get a promotion, they get elected to higher office, and we just have to move on as a society. That is not a government for the people, by the people, of the people. That is something else. That looks a lot more like the thing that we rebelled against when we founded this goddamn country.
You see, guys, you could tell how heartfelt Charles Hoskinson is here in regards to the future of not just the crypto industry, but America as a whole. You see, when corruption gets in the way of progress, innovation, entrepreneurship, and these founding principles of the US, that's when we get destroyed from the inside out. And I think Wendy O put it best. The SEC is seeking to prove Binance and founder CZ committed an FTX-style fraud. But the FTX-style fraud was Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. And you want to know what Gary Gensler did? He was essentially non-existent. In regards to the massive frauds in the crypto space, he is silent. But Kim K does the job. Ripple, who has been dotting their I's and crossing their T's for a decade, that's who you go after. But look at who you're letting go. All this talk about protecting us in the name of financial equality will soon be equal opportunity oppression with a central bank digital currency. Elizabeth Warren stated the other day she hates crypto but would not be opposed to a CBDC. And this is what the powers that be want. We pay the government so the government can screw us. This is the problem. This is why we're not in a better place as a nation. And everyone needs to recognize this. The crypto industry was created in order to have rebellion against tyrannical governments. And when we go back to the founding of the US, just like Charles Hoskins stated, America was founded as a rebellion to tyranny. That is the founding principle to the US. And that's why it worked for oh so long. But right here, right now, I'm going to tell you this. America has lost its way. When you vote for either side of the two-party dictatorship, there's always a problem. Problem, reaction, solution, my friends. This is the next stage we're heading to. And this is what I've always been preparing you for. Javier Milei was just voted president of Argentina, and Bitcoin gained 3% because of that. Bukele in El Salvador has turned things around unbelievably in that country after making Bitcoin legal tender. Do you understand where the world is going? Nations are beginning to adopt crypto into their monetary policy, and people want to argue with me that this space is not here to stay. If you're in the place where you don't want to believe in crypto because you're a laggard, maybe you're a boomer, you need to think tech forward. Everything in the world is heading towards the tech. Everything. Tech is where the world is going. We're going more towards it, not less. The next generation is addicted to TikTok. Their attention spans are 5 seconds on a good day. And you don't think crypto isn't going to play a role in monetary policy. I've stood here and showed you leaders talking about crypto, Congress people, regulators. The tide is shifting. BlackRock is making an official institutional level product for us retail. The time to get in is now. It is right now before next year. These are likely going to be the lowest levels you have left. And before I leave you for today, I need to teach all of you what I mean when I say specific time horizons. When I speak to all of you, and what I think in my mind is that I have 3 different time horizons as an investor. The first one is the short-term time horizon, which are within the next couple days to a week or two. I have a midterm time horizon, and when I refer to that, I'm talking about 3 to 9 months roughly. That is how I gauge a midterm time horizon. And a long-term time horizon is 2 to 5 years. 2 to 5 plus years, actually. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason this is important is because you need to understand that 95% of the time, I operate on a long-term 2 to 5 year plus time horizon. And in crypto, that is a lifetime. The midterm time horizon, I would like to say, is equivalent to a couple years in the stock market. 3 to 9 months in crypto is a couple years in the stock market. And I can't stress that enough. The reason I'm bringing this up now is because in the immediate midterm time horizon, meaning the next 3 to 9 months, this is where we're going to get our beautiful profits we've been waiting for, especially in the XRP community, especially if you're an altcoin investor. I have to remind you that Charles Hoskinson is one of my favorite people in crypto, and 88 Cardano is the crypto that changed my life forever. Cardano was the crypto I made 100x in the last bull run. And there are plenty others that were winners as well. But it wasn't XRP that changed my life yet. It was ADA. And the reason I'm trying to hammer this home to all of you that you don't have much time left is because there are still ADA-like opportunities in this market that you could take advantage of. 100x's are there. And I think this is the last crypto bull run that we're going to have that will allow those 100x gains. The runway is closing. And if you miss out, you're always going to regret it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm really happy I'm back with all of you today. And I'll be tuning in later with a powerful update to catch up on some of the most important things that happened in the XRP army recently. Ladies and gentlemen, there was something that was broken, that was heavily missed by most people in the space. And I'm going to make sure we go over it so that all of you know how close we are to the XRP flip of the switch moment. Not just for praise, but for actual real-world adoption. As always, guys, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.